I was standing on my own front porch at 6:47 p.m. on a Thursday, key in hand, staring at locks I didn't recognize. The deadbolt was new. Shiny silver instead of the brass I'd installed 18 months ago. The handle lock was different too, a smart lock with a keypad that definitely had and been there this morning when I left for work. My phone buzzed. Mom, stop pretending this is your house. It's always been family property. Mom, your sister needs a place to stay and you have 3 empty bedrooms. Mom, we raised you better than to be selfish. Then my sister. Jenna's message popped up. Thanks for my new room. Already moved my stuff into the master. Hope you don't mind. I stood there for approximately 15 seconds, key still extended toward a lock that would no longer accept it. Then I walked back to my car, got my laptop from the trunk, and opened my house documentation folder. I texted back one word, interesting, then I made a call. Riverside County Sheriff's Department, how can I help you? Hi, I need to report an illegal lockout. Someone has changed the locks on my house while I was at work. I'm the legal owner and I have documentation. Address? 4782 Maple Ridge Court. And who changed the locks? My parents. They're attempting to claim the property belongs to them. There was a pause. Sir, is your name on the deed? Yes, only my name. I can provide the recorded deed, title insurance, mortgage documents, and proof of continuous residence. I'll send a deputy. Please wait outside the property and don't attempt entry. 23 minutes later, a sheriff's deputy pulled up. Mid-40s, name tag reading Morrison, with the weary expression of someone who'd seen every possible family dispute. You're Nathan Reeves? Yes, sir. I handed him my driver's license, showing my address as 4782 Maple Ridge Court. And someone changed your locks? My parents. I left for work at 7:30 this morning. Locks were normal. I returned at 6:45 p.m. to find them changed and my family claiming the house is family property. Are your parents on the deed? I pulled out my laptop. No, sir. Here's the recorded deed from the county. Purchased March 15th, 2023 for $485,000. Owner, Nathan James Reeves. Just me. Deputy Morrison examined the document. You got the down payment yourself? Yes, sir. I can show you the bank statements. $97,000 down payment from my savings account. The mortgage is in my name only with Riverside Credit Union. How old are you? 32? And why do your parents think they have a claim to the property? Because they believe family assets should be redistributed according to family needs, regardless of legal ownership? Morrison's eyebrow went up. That's an interesting philosophy. Doesn't hold up in property law, though. He walked to the front door and knocked. Hard. The door opened. My mother stood there, smiling warmly until she saw the uniform. Oh, officer, hello. Is there a problem? Ma'am, I'm Deputy Morrison. Are you Margaret Reeves? Yes, that's right. I'm Nathan's mother. Is he okay? He's fine. He's right here. He says you changed the locks on his house. This isn't his house, my mother said, her tone patient like she was explaining something to a child. This is family property. We purchased it together. Do you have documentation of that purchase? Morrison asked. Well, no, but we helped with. Is your name on the deed? Technically no, but is your name on the mortgage? No, but we provided support. Ma'am, do you live at this address? Not currently, but Jenna does now, my daughter. She needed a place and Nathan has all these empty rooms. Ma'am, you can't just move your daughter into someone else's house. It's not someone else's house. It's family. It's Nathan Reeves' house, Morrison said flatly. His name is on the deed. He pays the mortgage. He lives here. You changed the locks on his property without permission. That's illegal. My mother's smile was slipping. Officer, I think there's been a misunderstanding. The understanding is clear. You've illegally locked the legal owner out of his property. You need to provide him access immediately, or I'll need to charge you with illegal lockout under California Civil Code 789.3. That's ridiculous. I'm his mother. That doesn't grant you property rights. Access. Now. My mother's face flushed. Jenna. Come here. My sister appeared, wearing pajamas I didn't recognize, holding a glass of wine. My wine, I realized. From the bottle I'd been saving. What's wrong? She saw Morrison's uniform. Oh, Jenna, show the officer the paperwork Grandma left. What paperwork? Morrison asked. Jenna disappeared and returned with a folder. She handed it to Morrison with a triumphant expression. Inside was a handwritten letter on floral stationery. To my family, this house fund is for all my grandchildren to share. Love, Grandma Rose. The letter was dated 2019. Morrison looked at it, then at me. Nathan, did you receive money from your grandmother? Yes, sir. She left me $60,000 in her will. That was part of my down payment. Was this money specified as a joint gift to all grandchildren? I pulled out another document. No, sir, here's Grandma Rose's will. Probated in 2020, the relevant section states, I leave $60,000 to my grandson Nathan James Reeves for his future home purchase. Not to all grandchildren. To me specifically? Morrison compared the handwritten letter to the official will. This letter isn't dated consistently. It says 2019, but your grandmother died in 2020? She died January 2020, I said. That letter is supposedly from November 2019. Do you have the original will? I pulled it up on my laptop, a certified copy from the county probate court. The bequest was clear. $60,000 to Nathan James Reeves, individually. The will supersedes the letter, Morrison said. And even if it didn't, receiving a gift from a family member doesn't make your house family property. You purchased this house legally. It's yours. But Nathan should share. My mother insisted. Jenna lost her apartment. She has nowhere to go. Then Jenna needs to find another apartment, Morrison said. Not break into her brother's house. We didn't break in. I'm his mother. I have keys. Had keys, I corrected. From when you stayed here last Christmas. Emergency access only. Not authorization to change locks and move my sister in. You gave me keys. My mother said. That's permission to... Emergency access, I repeated, in case of emergency. My sister needing a free place to live isn't an emergency. Morrison turned to Jenna. Ma'am, you need to vacate the property immediately. I just moved in, Jenna protested. I already changed my address. I bought groceries. How did you buy groceries? I asked. With the credit card in the kitchen drawer. My credit card? My voice was too loud. I took a breath. You used my credit card? It was just $347 for essentials. Morrison was writing in his notepad. So we have illegal entry, illegal lockout, and credit card fraud. This is escalating quickly. Fraud? My mother looked genuinely shocked. She's family. Families share resources. No, criminals take other people's resources without permission, Morrison said. That's literally fraud. My father's truck pulled into the driveway. He got out slowly, taking in the scene his son, his wife, his daughter, and a sheriff's deputy on the front lawn. What's going on? Dad, I said. Did you know Mom changed the locks on my house? Your house? He looked confused. I thought this was the family house. Your grandmother's money. Bought part of my house, I said. My name. My mortgage. My property. I showed him the deed on my laptop. My father stared at it for a long moment. Margaret, his name is the only name on this deed. Because we arranged it that way for tax purposes. We arranged nothing, I said. I purchased this house myself. I invited you to stay at Christmas as a guest. You took the emergency key I gave you and used it to lock me out and move Jenna in. That's not family sharing. That's theft. Don't be dramatic, my mother said. Ma'am, he's actually being quite accurate, Morrison said. California law is very clear on this. You've committed multiple offenses. The question is whether your son wants to press charges. Everyone looked at me. I'd spent 32 years being the easy one. The successful one who didn't need help. The one who handled things quietly while Jenna got tuition money, rent assistance, car payments, and endless second chances. When I bought this house, my parents had been furious. You should have consulted the family, my mother had said. That inheritance was meant to help everyone. The will said it was for me, I'd responded. Your grandmother would have wanted you to share, but Grandma Rose's will had been very specific. $60,000 to Nathan for a home purchase. $20,000 to Jenna for education or career development, which Jenna had spent on a European vacation and a failed attempt at becoming a life coach. Grandma Rose had known exactly what she was doing. I want my house back, I said to Morrison. Tonight. With everything exactly as I left it, and I want my credit card. And I want them to understand this is not negotiable. That's clear, Morrison said. Ma'am, you need to provide the new keys immediately and vacate with your daughter. If any property is missing or damaged, charges will be filed. My mother's face crumpled. Nathan, please. Don't do this. Jenna really needs to solve her own problems, I said. I'm not her solution anymore. My father looked at me. What does that mean? Morrison glanced at me. I nodded. I pulled out another folder from my laptop. This is a record of every payment I've made to or for Jenna over the past 8 years. Rent assistance, car repairs, insurance payments, credit card payoffs, student loan payments when she was supposedly in school. You kept records? My mother looked betrayed. I'm an accountant, I said. Of course I kept records. The spreadsheet showed on my screen. Column after column of dates, amounts, purposes. Total, $73,400. $73,000, my father said slowly. Nathan, is this accurate? Yes. Every payment is documented with bank statements and receipts. I didn't realize ... He looked at my mother. Margaret, did you know it was this much? He could afford it. That's not the question. My father's voice cracked. Did you know our son had given his sister $73,000 while we gave him nothing? We gave him love and support. We gave him Elias, then his sister, because he needed less help, my father said. We punished him for being capable. And now you've tried to take his house, he turned to Jenna. Get your things, now you're coming home with us. Dad, I'm 29 years old, then act like it. You can't keep taking from your brother. He has so much more than me. Because he earned it, my father said. Every dollar. While you spent and we enabled. That ends today, Jenna started crying, but she went inside. My mother followed, arguing in whispers. My father stayed on the lawn with Morrison and me. Nathan, I'm sorry, he said quietly. I didn't see it. The pattern? How we treated your success as permission to take. How we taught Jenna that your resources were hers. I'm sorry. Thanks, Dad. I'll make sure everything is put back exactly as it was. And I'll make sure Jenna returns what she charged on your card. Appreciated. 27 minutes later, Jenna emerged with 2 suitcases and 3 boxes. My mother carried a hanging rack of clothes. This isn't all my stuff, Jenna said. I have more. This is what you arrived with today, I said. You don't have other stuff because you don't live here. She glared but got in my father's truck. My mother handed me 2 new keys, one for the deadbolt, one for the smart lock. The code is 4782, she said stiffly. Your address. I thought it would be easy to remember. I'll be changing it, I said. Of course you will. Her voice dripped with bitterness. You've changed in so many ways, Nathan. You used to be generous. I used to be compliant. I corrected. There's a difference. She left without another word. Morrison stayed while I checked the house. Everything seemed intact except for my wine collection. 3 bottles were open. 2 empty, and my guest room had been fully rearranged with Jenna's furniture. I'll need to file a report about the credit card fraud, Morrison said. Do you want to press charges? I thought about it. Not if she repays it within 30 days. Otherwise, yes. Fair enough. I'll note that in my report. And Mr. Reeves changed those locks anyway. Smart locks can be reset if someone has the master code. Already planning to... After he left, I sat in my living room, my actual legal living room in my actual legal house, and looked at the mess. Jenna's magazines on my coffee table, her shoes by the door, her organic coconut juice in my refrigerator. Evidence of someone who'd believed she could just take what wasn't hers. I spent 2 hours putting everything back exactly as it had been. Returned my guest room to its original setup, poured out the opened wine bottles. Threw away Jenna's groceries that she'd bought with my money. Then I called a locksmith. I need every lock in this house changed. Tonight if possible. And I need a security system installed tomorrow. That's urgent. Everything okay? It will be. The locksmith arrived at 10:17 p.m. New deadbolts, new handle locks, new garage door code. $847, which I paid happily. Then I changed every password on every account I owned. Bank, credit cards, email, streaming services, utilities. My phone buzzed repeatedly throughout the process. Mom, you're really going to keep the whole house to yourself? 3 bedrooms for 1 person. Mom, Jenna is crying. She felt so hopeful about finally having stability. Mom, we raised you to share. What happened to the kind boy we knew? Jenna, I can't believe you're doing this. I'm your sister, Jenna. I'll pay you back for the credit card eventually when I can. Jenna, you've always been selfish. Now everyone will see it. I responded to none of them. At 11:43 p.m., my father texted, "Your mother and Jenna are very upset. But I think you did the right thing. I'm sorry I didn't see this pattern sooner. I'm going to work on being better." I responded to that one. Thanks, Dad. I appreciate you saying that. 3 days later, a certified letter arrived from my parents' address. Inside was a check for $347 from Jenna with a note. "Here's your money back. Hope you're happy." I deposited it. 2 weeks after that, my father called. "Your mother and I are in family counseling. The therapist has helped me see how we've enabled Jenna and taken advantage of you. I know this doesn't fix anything, but I wanted you to know we're trying to understand what we did wrong. I'm glad you're getting help," I said. "Your mother isn't there yet. She still thinks you overreacted. But I'm working on it." That was more than I expected. My mother sent a card on my birthday 3 months later. "Family is forever. When you're ready to forgive and share your blessings the way you were raised to, we'll be waiting." I recycled it. Jenna blocked me on all social media after posting a long thread about toxic siblings who abandon family when they get successful. The post got 43 likes, mostly from people who didn't know the full story. I didn't respond. Didn't defend myself, didn't engage. The people who mattered knew the truth. 6 months after the lockout incident, my father stopped by the first time he'd visited since that night. "I wanted to see the house," he said. "Really see it, as yours. Not as something I assumed the family owned." I gave him a tour. Showed him the office I'd set up, the garden I'd planted, the renovations I was planning. "You've made it a home," he said. "It was always my home," I replied. "You just didn't see it." "I see it now." He left after an hour. Before he went, he handed me an envelope. "What's this?" "A check for $73,400. Your mother doesn't know. I've been setting aside money from my consulting work. It's not technically repayment because Jenna can't afford to pay you back. But I can, and I should. You shouldn't have had to carry her all those years." I stared at the check. "Dad, you don't have to."
"I do," he said. "I enabled this."
"I let your mother redistribute your success to cover Jenna's failures? That was wrong. This doesn't fix it, but it acknowledges it. Thank you," I said quietly. After he left, I sat in my living room, my legally owned, properly locked, completely secure living room, and thought about patterns. About how being competent had made me exploitable. About how family dynamics can calcify into injustice if no one questions them. About how love without boundaries isn't actually love, it's just comfortable dysfunction. And about how sometimes the kindest thing you can do is refuse to participate in someone else's delusion that you're property. Is their property, your success is their resource, and your boundaries are their inconvenience. I deposited my father's check. Put half in savings, half toward a principal payment on my mortgage. I changed the smart lock code to something only I knew. I built a life in the house that was mine, always had been, always would be. And I never gave anyone emergency keys again. Some lessons cost $73,400 to learn. But some lessons are worth every penny.